you guys. It's me, Dr. Torie. My book is officially out. And yes, it is time to talk about ACEs. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, Be VicTORIEus.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about ACEs. Let's go, y'all.
Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome to another episode of Be Victorious. You know who I am? It's Dr. Torie. And I really am excited about the guest that we have. This is someone that we've been actually colleagues and working together for a while. When I was in schools, we kind of got together, to combat bullying and combat some things that have been added to the CDC. One of the major things we did, I actually did curriculum for the Sandy Hook Promise. And at that time, I think we just discovered a bond for us being in Chicago, a bond for us just really having that awareness and wanting to help our communities. And so we connected and we have kept in contact over the years. So to see this transition and to have somebody with power and purpose still supporting you, not just in public education, but the passion and purpose that I'm pouring out, she is my girl. And I think what people need to understand is when you're really empowered in your community and you're doing things, your work speaks for itself. And we made a joke about this when we first met, but it's a part of her introduction. It's Erika with a K. Let's be clear. Some of you all may not know her, but I do. Come on, Erika. Let them know who you are.
Hello there, Dr.
A ray of
Torie.
sunshine. That's what you have always been. Y'all see that flower? Y'all see her representing? What I mean, we're talking about BIPOC and people that stand out in their community. And when I tell you it was an honor to introduce you to our community and let them know that you were already doing it. Y'all have already connected. Y'all have already bonded. The blend was easy. So every now and again, I introduce the community to some people that hold my heart, and you really are one of them. So I just want people
Mm.
to know that it's ACEs awareness, it's an ACEs experience, but this episode is a little different because not only are you going to talk about your ACEs, but you're going to talk about your cycle to healing. You are a cycle breaker, honey,
Mm.
representing, doing your thing. And here we are. So, Miss Erika with a K. I love it so much. Tell us about you.
Ooh, goodness gracious, where to begin? All right, well, I'm a queer Latina spoken word poet and artist, born and raised on the south side of Chicago. Very proud of that. Hey. And my parents are immigrants. I'm first generation, which
Mhm.
I'm also very proud of. And I also lived in Texas for some years, which is how we connected because that was part of the work I was doing with Sandy Hook Promise,
Yes.
is that you were in Texas at the time. And so that's how we connected.
Mhm.
I actually lived in Mexico as a grown up, as an adult for many years. And I went to school there, I worked there, and had a whole life there. And I've also spent time in India and lived in Canada for a year. And I say this because it also adds to that experience of being an immigrant, because oftentimes as a first generation, it's like, well, I'm not an immigrant. And yet
Mhm.
I have somehow actively sought to be an immigrant and want to know what that experience is and live in other places and experience that,
Right.
and walk in those footsteps. And do you want to know what my score is on the aces? Are we
What's your
ready?
ACEs
Are we
score?
ready for that? Lucky number seven. Hey.
And you know what? I think we do that just as an identifier, people. So, we do not let our ACEs score define us at all. And when she means lucky number seven, let me tell you, I always speak highly of you and how you've never let your ACEs score define you. Did y'all
Thank
hear
you.
everything that she said? You have to understand the umbrella and know a lot of this. is really aces. But the thing that people have to know is we cannot let that define us. She explained it in the introduction. And I think that's the reason why we bonded. We talked about a lot. And it really doesn't make a difference, you guys, whether you have a 7 or a 1. It's the fact that you have an aces score. And you have done something about it. You're a legacy.
Mm, well,
Because you talked about you being a first generation. I'm a first generation. I learned that right here. I'm a first generation high school graduate, so I get it and understand.
there you go. I mean, so many of us is we're the first time for so many things. So I always joke that I came out of the closet at 34, but I tell people I came out of all the closets at 34
Hmm.
because there's many closets and so many of us are in, right? And there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of blame that goes with those things. And to be able to free oneself of those things is so powerful. And yet it's also important to remember it doesn't just happen overnight. It is a lifelong journey. Just like,
Right.
it took 34 years to get into all of those closets, it's probably going to take that much time, if not longer, to come out all those closets. So
You're
it
right.
really truly is the journey. It
It
really
is.
truly is the journey. And that's to me what ACEs is all about. And I knew about ACEs before I had met you actually.
You
And,
did.
and I did. I knew about ACEs. And I
You did.
remember when I learned about it, it was so empowering.
Hmm.
It was just amazing. But then when I met you, I'd never met anyone that was actually a champion for wanting to talk about ACEs. People did not want to talk about ACEs when I brought it up. Let me tell you.
They
But when
didn't.
I met you, Dr. Torie, you were just like, oh, you're like this. You're like, I'm a champion for talking about ACEs. You were like, let's talk about it. I was like, what? You changed my life because you really
Uh,
gave me a platform to
mhm.
stand on, not just with you, but with so many others, and
Yep.
realizing there's a lot of us that are talking about it. It's not
Yep.
just me, it's not just you, but
Yep.
you have brought us together and created this community. And that's what's so powerful about this is that we get
Thank
to
you.
share our stories.
Hmm.
And yes, we get to share our wounds, but for me, really important to do is also share the healing journey
Yep.
of those wounds. And it's okay to still have those wounds. So, example, someone just asked me just a little bit ago, how are
Hmm.
you?
Hmm.
And I said, I'm having a hard day. I'm
Hmm.
struggling today.
Yep.
How are you doing?
Hmm.
It's just a statement. It's a reality. And it doesn't lessen, it's just we're human. And
Hmm.
I'm okay. I'm not going to give you the canned answer of I'm good. How are you? No. I'm having a hard day. I'm struggling. But I'm here. And
And y'all see,
this
that's
is
my girl.
this is what it looks like to live with aces. I
It does.
mean, you can be real, but you can still show up. But the thing is, we got to make space for each other to show up as we are.
Killing it.
And that's what I love about what you do is that you give us that not so much permission, but you have reinforced that. Like, let's talk about the aces. And I watched the episode where you were talking with your daughter, and I was just like, oh, I was snapping so hard my fingers were sore. Like, I was like, yes, get it. That's
Hmm.
what I'm talking about. Like, to me, she's a first generation too, because
She
she's a
is.
first generation where it's okay to talk about aces and everybody knows about it. She's the ambassador for it from her young age. And I'm like,
Yep.
how powerful is that? So when we talk about breaking cycles, that's one of the things definitely to be able to say I'm a first generation cycle breaker
Hmm.
where I'm not embarrassed to talk about aces or I'm
Yep.
the ambassador for aces.
Yep.
So I'm
And
just,
you've
yeah.
been doing your thing. I think that's it warms my heart because again, you have to understand when people come to the podcast, I don't know them at all. I'm getting to know them. And then I understand their place in the community because everybody really isn't ready because again, we've been empowered. We're out there. You have been like this since the day we met. You go all in for what you
Mm-hmm.
believe and what you love. So to see you on the team and introduce you to
Mm-hmm.
people on our team, we're winning because, honey, we love you already. They took
Mm-hmm.
you in like, oh my God, she's this. Oh my God, Dr. Torie, why you didn't tell us about us? Because you got to shift the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that you and Jorge would be good.
Ooh,
Only because, not only because of Chicago, but just on the fact of the stories. The stories are similar. You know what I mean? And he doesn't feel alone anymore. It's like, what? Oh, it's so much bigger than that. And I think that's the reason why we bonded from day one. I think that's the reason why we're still here. That's the reason why we're kinetic, baby. We are energy together. And people have to understand that cycle breakers can unite and do what we need to do. So before, again, this is us, y'all. This is how we act all the time. I think that's the fun thing about this. Okay. So you knew about ACEs. You knew you were at the conference, shined your light, did your thing. And you said that ACEs helped you grow personally and professionally, correct?
correct.
Can
Hmm.
you give us some examples?
Being able to understand where I was in the ACEs framework,
Hmm.
it was really empowering for me. And
Right.
especially because I was working in youth violence prevention. And I think that's when I actually came to know about ACEs was right at the beginning of that part, that chapter of my career.
Hmm.
And I think that's where I really dug in. So for me to discover ACEs when I'm doing youth violence prevention work and directly working with not just students, but I'm also working with teachers, counselors, all, the mental health professionals, everybody. And then you go into secondary um, resilience, what is it? Secondary trauma, right? Because
Yes.
those
Yeah.
people are also having trauma from working with the kids who are experiencing. So anyway, for me to have a better understanding, one, it was like an aha moment for me to be
Mhm.
able to understand, to give a framework. It was just like, huh,
Yep.
wow. So
Because
I
it's
can
there.
It's there. And now
Mhm.
to understand it, it really helped me because then I was able to make that a part of my story versus just a part of my darkness. It
Yep.
went from just being this darkness to a part of my story. And then I was able to take that, mold it, and craft it, not just in my own healing and my own struggles, but then be able to heal it and work on it in a way that I was then able to use that to
Yep.
connect with the youth in a way that was real and raw and authentic and not just very like matter of fact or not just so prescriptive or academic-y or just performative, but rather it was real because kids, you can't BS kids.
Nope.
So for me to want to walk into their schools and be like, hey, I'm Erica, I'm going to tell you about not bullying, they're going to be like, you know what they were probably thinking if I was going to walk in like that. Like, let's be real. And I'm walking into schools where it is primarily BIPOC kids,
Hmm.
high violence urban areas. So in wanting to connect with them, it helped me connect with myself. And
Right.
by connecting with myself, I was then able to connect with them. And then I was able to be so effective at my work because it wasn't work, it was a calling for me. I
Hmm.
was really there to serve them. And that's what I told them. I'm here to work for you. But in
Yep.
wanting to work for them, I had to work on myself first. So
Mm.
it just professionally, personally, absolutely. ACEs just really shifted the
Yep.
conversation. And then getting to know you and meet you as a part of that work, that just pulled me into a whole new world. And I'm like, wait, oh, wait, you got a book? Oh,
Yeah.
and you hadn't written the book yet, but you were working on the book. I was like, oh, I want to see
Yep.
that book, right?
Yep.
And we were talking about, and then just so knowing about ACEs also has connected me and
Hmm.
grown my network.
Yep.
At first it was like professional, but then that lasted about 5 minutes. Then it's like, oh no, girl, no, we tight. We gonna be friends for the rest of our
Rest of our
lives, right?
life. Yep.
Right? Like it's one of
Even
those.
going.
And that's the beautiful thing. Even though I no longer work for Singing Hope Promise, those relationships with those kids, they're
Yep.
now adults. I'm still in touch with them. They still message me. We still message each other. They're grown now. They've graduated. They've gone on to do things. And yes, did lose some kids along the way. And there
Hmm.
was some people in that work that unfortunately didn't make it.
Hmm.
But we keep going.
Yep.
We keep doing the work and we keep showing up because you can't save everybody. But if I can save one, then I've
Yep.
I've I've broken the cycle. And that's what it is. And that's what I focus on. I focus on the win, not
Hmm.
the loss, because the loss is what gives us the win. Because if I hadn't had the loss, I wouldn't even know what a win looks like. And now that, it's so. To me, it's just that perspective. So yeah, ACEs changed it.
It changed a lot. I love our history because we are sisters. You've watched me transition. You were there a year ago. You were there for the beginning of the book. You were there for the book launch. When I mean
Mm,
sister, y'all, you all have to understand. We have been at this. And having your support is unwavering. You'll use sharing about the students and how much of an impact that we have and the fact that we keep in contact with them is the reason why Be Victorious Foundation exists. You know, what could I do? I was at a school when I met you. I've been in administration forever, but leaving, just imagine the calls, the what we're doing. It's like I need, I still need you to talk to me. So
mhm.
understand, people, this foundation is real. I had no other choice. And who's standing right beside me in this foundation? Erika with a K. Because we know we've been there, you guys. And even when they grow, I've been told to switch it from mentorship because it's always going to be mentorship, but it's transformational leadership because it's not just kids that we're transforming anymore. We're
Mm.
transforming lives. We're transforming communities. We're transforming people in a shift that needs to happen. So I accepted it. I took it. I actually received this information from one of my colleagues. Shout out to my dissertation chair. You met her. We had no other choice to do this. But here we are, and I love Be Victorious Foundation. So, again, thank you for always being there because you are. And your healing journey, I've been there to see it. And I want to shout out some wonderful things that you got in your background because you have to tell us how some of your healing strategies benefit you and help you.
Uh, well, it is interesting because some of the stuff in my background is small things, but really important things. So the You Matter sign
Hmm.
right there, that was actually a gift that was given to me by one of the youth-led clubs in the work that I did with Sandy Hook Promise. And they gave that to
Wow.
me years ago. And I take that little sign with me everywhere, and I always have it.
Wonderful.
And it's a reminder, not just for people when I'm on a call, for people to see it, right? More importantly, when I'm watching it, I can see it there. It's a reminder to myself because I struggle every single day. I am struggling all the time. And I tell people that I'm always struggling. This is the face of someone that is struggling. So I need those reminders all the time. So I try to build those little things for myself. I have little post-it notes here and there, and I just look at those. And I wear a flower in my hair. One of the many reasons why I wear it, one, yes, because yellow symbolizes hope and esperanza. In Spanish, we say esperanza. Um, but and it blooming, things that are growing, they require nurturing. So it's a reminder to nurture myself, right? It's a reminder that I'm growing. And also on those days when I'm really struggling and I wear it, people are friendlier to me, or people say hi. People are more intentional in connecting with me. And sometimes I'm struggling and I'm almost crying, or I'm just kind of gruff because I had a really hard night and didn't sleep well. And people are being really nice. I'm like, why are people being so nice? Or what? And then it's like, it's because it's the flower. Or
Hmm.
somebody will come up to me and is like, I really love your flower. And it's like they help me smile. So not only is the flower helping others, but again, it's helping me. So I try to find strategies around me that it's not just about me doing for others, but it's that beautiful circle and that reminder that when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. When one of us heals, we all heal. So even something this small creates a moment of intentional humanity to connect in a way that otherwise wouldn't happen. So instead of walking around during my day and just seeing strangers, I get to connect with human beings and we get to see each other for that moment.
Dope.
And one very important thing, And
Mm-hmm.
this is a surprise for you. These little plants right here,
Mm-hmm.
first time in my life I have ever propagated anything. This is rosemary.
Oh, hey girl.
You know where this rosemary came from?
Where?
The ACES conference.
Really?
One of the vendors, she had some little branches of rosemary as
Ah,
part of her
yeah.
display. I can't remember who it was. And she was giving it away at the end of the day. And this rosemary was just going to die and wither and, go
Look
into the
at God.
garbage. So I said, and I was really depressed because that was the anniversary of my dad's passing. He died by suicide when I was 16. So that the
Wow.
ACES conference, I was just in pieces. Being
Um,
at the ACES conference helped me feel held. I
uh-huh.
I needed that conference more than I thought. Though that conference literally saved me because I was struggling so hard those days.
God bless
Y'all
you.
literally gave me life and held me.
Um,
So what I did is I rescued that rosemary. As depressed as I was, I said, I'm gonna, because you have planted in us,
I
you
did.
have planted abundance. And rosemary for me and my culture represents abundance
Girl, you want me to
and
cry?
healing. So I took them and I put them in two little glasses. I was so depressed. I'm like, let me just I took a couple of glasses out of my cabinet, put them in water. And I'm like, I don't know if they're going to grow. I've never done this before. And the roots started growing.
No.
The roots started growing as I continued to get through those hard days. And the more I was trying to heal through those hard days and get through that depression, their roots started growing. And then I had one of my BFFs, her dad, who's a gardener, he helped me to plant them. So this is a visual
Yes, it
representation
is.
of
You
our
got me crying.
community. And it is the first ACES, International ACES conference. And of that, this is a representation of what has already started growing and what will continue to grow because of what you are doing and what we are doing together as a community. So these are because of you. And now I have abundance and I have hope every day when I see them
Oh my
because
God.
of you and because of
Oh
our
my.
community, because this was a community effort and made it possible. So,
You know
yeah.
what? I get so many people that want to ask about the conference. And it's one of those conferences, you guys, where you really needed to be in the room.
Hmm.
It is so much that happened. It was the small, like, this isn't a small thing. It was a seed planted. You got to think about it. That was April. Look at how much it has grown. That should say so much to you because it says so much to me. I'm in here emotional. And I love it because tears are silent prayers. This is what I wanted. You see us when we held that book and we went out there, we have been killing it in the community. And I'm not saying killing it in that term, but people are talking about ACEs. And we knew that it was going to be international. It was international people there. But my God, I got people calling me every day. Who are you? What are you doing? And what I'm saying is, I can't be at this place. So let me call somebody that can. Because you got people like you got people like Jorge, you got people like Leah, you got people like Lisa, you got people like Mick, you got all these people that were at the conference. I cannot control Andre Charlie right now. He is blowing out of the water. And it's like, this is what I asked for, and I'm ready because I'm telling you now, this is what's happening. We're in the community, we're having the conversation, and look at your representation. This my sister, y'all. I keep trying to tell you all. ACEs can bring you together if you know about it. Being a cycle breaker is embracing our ACEs score. It's embracing our journey, not looking and reflecting on the past. It's building our future. She just explained what helps her heal. And something as simple as putting and placing a flower in your hair symbolizes everything and every reason why I love you so much. That's why you're here. That's the reason why we have a cycle breaker episode. And this was perfect. And let me share. This is just the beginning, you guys. This is really what we have been doing. We have been doing this. She said she knew about ACEs. She knew about all of these things. But you got to understand when you have a passion, you have a purpose, it's going to continue to allow and make you grow. So I hope you remember this when you have those days, because let me tell you, your legacy. So speaking of legacies, what kind of legacy are you hoping to leave as a cycle breaker?
I'm not hoping to. I'm already doing it. I'm
Come
leaving a
on! Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry. I got in trouble. Marv told me to stop talking when you were talking, so I can't help it. I'll stop. Go ahead, sister.
yeah, I'm hoping to do it. I'm already doing it. And my Instagram handle says it because I am leaving a legacy of love. Legacy of love. Everything I do is to leave a legacy of love. That is my goal. And I do it every day. Sometimes it's just for myself because sometimes there's days that all that I can do is brush my teeth and go back to bed and cry some more.
Hmm.
But that's okay because that's me loving myself that day. Whether it's someone puts their signal light and I let them over instead of just cutting them off, you know, or I mean, there's so many ways. And people think it has to be these grandiose things. No, it's just I live with intentionality every day. So I am leaving a legacy of love. And that is my goal, is to leave that legacy of love.
And you're really doing it. Like you said, been doing it, you guys, just to see it. For the people again that met you, it was like, oh my gosh, she's a ball of sunshine. I'm like, well, you know me, I told you. Or yeah, yeah, that's my friend. Or oh yeah, that's my sister. Because that's really who you are. You have really been a huge part in the Be Victorious movement and the Be Victorious journey. And so for someone that does not know how to heal or know the steps, what would you tell them? Because they're going to gravitate to you. What would you tell them?
Be okay with the ick.
Tell me more.
You gotta be okay with the ick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be cute. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't cute. It don't feel good. It just it's ick. It's uncomfortable. It's ick. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you gotta be okay with the ick.
Mm-hmm.
And that means being okay with people making that ick face when you try to talk to them and they don't want to have it. That's okay. That's not your person. Now you know where you stand with them. Ain't about you. You keep going. And you find people that are okay with your ick
Mm-hmm.
until you realize the ick is not ick.
Mm-hmm.
It just means you're human, and you start being okay with the ick, and you start being able to talk to the ick,
Mm-hmm.
and you start becoming friends with the ick, and then you start hugging the ick, and then you start hugging yourself. And in that journey, you will find other people that are also okay with the ick, and or they're struggling and working through the ick too. So that's what I always say. Don't go for the people that got all the answers and they're all like, yes, I did it. Look at me. Come be my friend. Or let me tell you the 5 steps to greatness in your life and healing. It's like, no. Find the people that are in the ick, that are working through the ick, that are actively talking about it. And that's what I will say. It ain't gonna be cute and it's gonna feel lonely. Healing is very lonely because it requires that one shed versions of oneself. And with those versions we shed are people that we have to also release. And I say release, you release with love because they were part of that version of the self. And it's okay to release with love. No shame, no blame, release. And then you move into the next version. And some people will come with you and some people will not. And that's okay. That's just part of the journey. But it is hard. And that's why it's important to have the support network. There is the proverb, the saying that says, it takes a village to raise a child. I always say it takes a village to sustain an adult. We think, it's like, I'm a self-made person. No, baby. It takes a village to sustain Erica with a K.
Community.
And that's why ACEs is so important. But more importantly, that's why the foundation that you have created is so important. The Be Victorious Foundation is so important because it is community. And the other thing I love about what you do and how you do it, there's no filters, there's no overproduced. It ain't all these fancy bells and whistles. You are real, you are raw, you show up, and it's like this is who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also what I say to people that want to step into their healing. It's like shed all the expectations, the filters, that what you think, what we think we're supposed to look like or be like. Just let it go.
And I think that's what it is. So, being a first, I think it's humbling because people have met me at certain stages. You met me as Dr. Williams. You got people that met me as Torie. But the ones that met me here at Dr. Williams, I'm A-okay. And I say that to say I had a journey and I started somewhere too. And sometimes we forget that. We're so busy being up here that we didn't realize where we came from. I love to listen to the ambassadors say, "You had me in a room. I felt so important being in a room with doctors." And it's like, I never thought about it like that because I never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a really big deal. I understand I'm Dr. Torie and I get it and I earned it and I respect myself and y'all respect me and I love that. But when I wasn't thinking about like, I'm placing you all in a room with doctors. I was looking at our experiences. Now I'm gonna cut to the chase because when you go and apply for a job, yeah, they ask you what your degree is, but people don't understand under that it asks for experience because that experience can count. If you have 20 years experience of going through something or experience with something, you can't knock that. You can't say that that's different than somebody that has a degree. Your experience is your experience. And what I learned is we go through the same experiences. They're just identified under that umbrella that places you into that category. ACEs is not looking at your degree. ACEs is not looking at any of that. If you were abused, you were abused. If you were neglected, you were neglected. Household dysfunction is what we live in. I just left Chicago. I would have ran into you, let's be clear, but it was so much stuff going on this past weekend. And lovely Aisha tried to be at everything. It was the cutest thing ever. One minute she was at Lala, the next minute she was with me at Black Women's Expo. But I also have a kid that visits over the summer. Now, what's interesting is some things have happened. And when I tell you I wanted to see her, I actually had to call and sit down and calm myself because I was scheduled to see her. But again, I live in household dysfunction. I'm divorced. And I had to understand and realize I got to step back because you see Dr. Torie, but I also am a mama. And while I'm prioritizing doing what I have to do, I actually have to understand things. I'm human. I want to go off. I want to do these things because these are my kids. But when you have that ACEs awareness, it'll wake you up. It'll let you know what's going on. It'll let you know how to change the narrative in your situation. And I think that's what I love about us because we've been through a lot together, but to see our growth, you got to understand I was there. And to see that we're in a community now where we can be open and talk about LGBTQ or talk about things that we wasn't really able to talk about previously, we can do that now. Those are some of our kids too. You know what I mean? The kids that we bond with, the kids that we love, they're going to gravitate to us because of this. And so I will tell you, especially for someone that travels so much, do you plan on staying in Chicago or do you plan on traveling?
I am a perpetual traveler. I always say there are no borders or zip codes that limit and define me. I am a global citizen. So geographically, where I lay my head at night is just like that's a technicality. It's like, but I live in the world. So I mean, this is home base for now, but I am very fortunate and blessed that I have such an amazing, wonderful network and community and village sustaining me that, I get to go visit and be hosted at
Mhm.
different places. So I always say that I have many places to call home, and
Mhm.
I'm very, very grateful, and I feel very honored to be able to say that. But for now, I'm not doing as much traveling right now, um, but I'm always looking forward to that next trip and where am I going? What am I
Well,
building?
I will let you all know if you see her, you're going to see me. She's coming to Dallas. Let's be clear, we already know that. We got plenty of things going on, and she's always a phone call away from me. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on the show, telling your story, but let the listeners know how to find you. They know they're gonna find you with me regardless, but if they wanted to reach you, where could they find you?
Thank you very much. Instagram, TikTok are the easiest. My handle is EWAK, which stands for Erica with a K. And also, I like to say EWAC because I'm a little whack. So EWAC underscore legacy love. You can DM me there. And I do have a little website. I don't even remember what it is because I don't visit my own website very often. So I forget what it is. It's on my little business card somewhere. But that's where you can find me and reach out. And I'm always happy to connect. And I do connect with people sincerely. Sometimes I'll post something, they're complete strangers, and they'll say, hey, this really resonated. And I'll end up having great like DM exchange with them. And they're just like, hey, thank you. I really needed that moment. I'm like, absolutely. So when I mean it, I tell people I really care. So if
Mhm.
you're going to step to me appropriately and you're like, you genuinely need that support, I got you,
Yep.
and I might reach out and be like, I need the support, but please reach out. Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the reason why I love her, you guys. She's been a part of my community. So just to introduce you not just to our ACEs community or Be Victorious community, but to have you on this podcast finally. I am so grateful. You guys, we have to let you guys know of all the wonderful things that are happening. You all can find me, Dr. Victorious, everywhere. But as far as Be Victorious, this is one of our ambassadors. She's in the community. She's talking about ACEs. I mean, if you're looking for a nice poet, baby, she can drop when I tell you she will fill your room, she will. She's a powerhouse. This is my sister in power, and I love her dearly. And this has been another wonderful episode of Be Victorious. We will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye, you guys.